Energy update for April the 6th, Sunday. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really tired right now. But I feel like these are really important messages, so I'm gonna make this about you and getting the message that you need. So basically, I feel energetically like whatever we've been pushing for as a collective has clicked. One really cool fact about energy is that when you want things to manifest, it's actually creation or love energy, or light energy, positivity, all the same thing. It actually moves clockwise. So, depending on how the camera looks, I don't know if that's clockwise for you. Maybe it looks like that, but you know what clockwise looks like. Your chakras are actually cone shaped. I don't know if you know this, and they have a flat top like an ice cream cone. And when your chakras are clear and healthy, I learned this in a chakra balancing course, that they actually spin clockwise. And it's the same for all positive energy. There's an element of that clockwise spin for all positive energy in the energy world. So one really interesting thing is that when you want to create something, right? When you want something positive to happen, it's actually a journey like around a clock. So the manifestation can be in progress, but maybe it's stuck at like the number 3. And for it to fully manifest in the physical, it has to click all the way back around at the 12 point. So that's something really interesting that you can start doing with the things that you want to see happening in your life that you don't see physically yet, but maybe they're somewhere around one of the other numbers. And the way that you push it all the way around is through your belief. But in terms of what I'm talking about right now, it's like collectively it feels like something has clicked into place at the top, if that makes sense. There's like something that has fully clicked into place energetically, and now we're there. And energetic up levels are like that. It's like your energy changes, the click happens, and you can feel that. Like when you're praying for something or you're trying to manifest something, and you feel that feeling of like, oh, it's done. And you look around your reality and it's not actually done, but you know that the energy is in place. That's what I'm talking about. It feels like the energy is in place. And a lot of significant things have happened in our world. Well, I'm in the US, so it feels like the whole world. I know it's not the whole world, but significant things have happened in the past week. And I really believe that the energy is in place collectively because of the work that we're doing independently and personally. And so what I want to say is it's important for you to do a few things, even though I feel like the energy is already in place. But these are the things that I did that really helped me feel like that personally. And I think I saw it reflect collectively as well. That was, for me personally, well, what you want to look for is what are the challenges that I'm going through and how can I be fearless? Because the energy of love, remember, that positive creation energy is fearlessness. It's it's the opposite of fear, which is negativity. So love is fearlessness. So that means if you have any situations in your life that cause fear for you, it's important for you to be fearless. And you might find that there are specific things going on that are challenging you to learn certain lessons. And it's important that you have that attitude, not just being annoyed at your reality and this is happening and that's happening, but what are the things that this is challenging me to learn? And when you become open to the things that your life is pushing you to learn, remember that's part of becoming fearless. It's part of becoming the person that you want to be. It's like you have to let go of a lot of things in order to be that person. You have to think about the version of you that you want to be, and like realize that it's not just about evolving in terms of, oh hey, look, I'm doing this, or I'm doing this positive thing or that positive thing. Sometimes becoming the person that you want to be is about being, like shaped by fire, by being forced to go through something that feels difficult, by being like literally pounded with something that feels like it's going to break your soul and then it doesn't, and finding the faith amid those kind of challenges. Like for me, I went through that about a week ago. My personal story is I was trying to save this dog, Garlic, and I went to the shelter here in Manhattan and I met Garlic, and I couldn't personally adopt him. But he was staring at me and I just felt this whole connection, and I knew I had to save him, and I didn't know he was at risk and going to be put down because they need space. It's a big shelter here in Manhattan called the ACC, the Animal Care Center, and they're literally putting down healthy dogs because they just don't have enough room, and it's like the worst thing. Some of them are puppies, so yeah. And I felt a real need in my soul to save Garlic. I just felt it. And it was like, it felt impossible, but I employed this really important principle that I want to tell you, because you can use it in these kind of situations that are difficult and challenging for you, where you're being invited to grow. And that's this. I call it the empowerment principle. It's, if you do everything within your power, God will do the rest. But God won't send an email for you. He won't text that person. He won't do this. He won't do that. Like, you have power that he gives you. And so it's like a prayer. When you do those things, you're actually saying with your actions, not just your pray too, but like with your actions, you're praying. You're saying, hey, I believe that this is going to work out. It's vulnerable to even take action towards something, not knowing if it will work out. But it's like a prayer. It takes faith. You take those actions with faith, knowing that if you do the things that you can do, well, all the things that are bigger than you that you can't do, God will do. It's like he meets you to the point of your faith, to the point of your belief, to the point of your empowerment that you keep pushing. And so I employed that principle with Garlic. I tested it out. I've tested this out many times, but I tested it out. And it was difficult for me because it felt like not just his soul, but my soul was like hanging in the balance. And he was almost killed 3 times. I started going to church every day. I really relied on God, and I realize now that that was really helping me to develop really strong faith. And so you don't know the person that you want to be, the person living your dream life. It's like you have to think about, you have to be open to evolving, right? Because it's like, what qualities does that person have? And how are you going to get those qualities? Like, how are you just going to become that person? I think oftentimes we want the outside things. Like, you think about the version of your life that you want to live, and you're like thinking about like the nice house and like the partner, and like you want to look like this, you want to have these clothes, you want your body to look like this, you want to like own these specific things, and it's a lot about the outside stuff. But I want you to realize that that version of you is different on the inside too. That version of you is strong, has strong faith. Like, I don't care how nice your life is. Everybody gets to that point in life where you're going to have to die someday. You're going to have to watch people die someday that you love. How do you want to live? What kind of person do you want to be? How do you want to handle those situations, right? Do you want to have that inner strength? Do you want to have that faith in God? Do you want to have that providence from God, that connection to God every day, so that when tough times come, you're not shaken? And in fact, he steps in and he helps you. He saves you. He does the things that are supernatural healings, the supernatural happy deaths, the after death experience that's eternal. It's like, these things really matter, you guys. And like, I feel like we're always pushing for the outside rewards without realizing that the person that you want to be is going to be different, and being open to that evolution in that journey, you know? I love shopping. I'm all for shopping. In fact, I prayed to God today to be like, can I go shopping soon? Because I really want to shop. But like, also be open to like the ebb and flow of your life. And sometimes you're being challenged to shop on the inside, let's say, to have different qualities, to get different qualities on the inside that you will carry forward. Having nice things improves your life, but so does having inner strength. So does being fearless. So does having strong faith and a strong connection with God. What are the qualities of the person that you want to be? and realize that sometimes you're encouraged to become that person. And when you're that person on the inside, trust me, your life is going to reflect that, because you're going to think like that person, you're going to act like that person, you're going to live as that person. And so you're going to start generating, not just through your energy and your frequency creating your life, because your energy does create your reality, but also the way you live and the actions you take. So there's the feminine, which is the energetic, and then there's the masculine, which is the action taking, living as that person. Be open right now to evolving quickly, you guys. It involves a lot of letting go. It involves a lot of being open to like for example, me here in New York City, like I'm originally from Canada, and I just, I felt really tired lately. I felt really confused, and I started to realize, like, because my life just kept demanding so much of me, especially with this dog rescuing. Like, it's just been like so much every day, and like I'm already a comedian. I'm already doing all these things, and like it's just, I was just like, when do I get time off? When do I get to rest? I teach about feminine energy. I have to have time for myself, like to not be totally overwhelmed. And like I kept kind of thinking of my life in the past where like I used to have lots of days off. I used to have lots of time off. Remember when I used to like not do anything? Like I was just like thinking about that, and I was like, why isn't my life like that anymore? And then I realized I don't live in Canada anymore, right? That's not my life. Whatever that life that I lived was, it's not my life. I live in New York City. My future is in New York City. My ideal self, my whole, like that's who I am, right? That's who I really am. Well, in New York City, things are more fast paced. In New York City, I do have that kind of like life. And within that, I can build feminine energy. Within that, I can create space for myself. But like, it's going to look different. And I had to kind of accept that at a certain point and be like, you know what? This is just the new way. And so I really encourage you, if you're on that journey of personal resurrection from here to here, I used to be like this, but this is where you really are supposed to be, and this is who you really are. You really got to get open about letting go, of all the past, all the identities of the past, all the ways that you used to do things, and just focus on who you really are. Focus on what's real for you, and focus on being that person, not just on the outside with the things, but on the inside with the qualities. And your life is always going to be pushing you in that direction. How are you going to get faith unless you go through a situation where you need faith? How are you going to get fearless unless you face something that you're afraid of? And for you to face something you're afraid of, there's got to be something in front of you that you're afraid of. And I found that like I really had to rely on God so heavily that it changed me on the inside. It wasn't in my hand. Garlic's life, this dog, was not in my hands, no matter what I did. And at a certain point, I had to accept that. I did everything I could, but at a certain point, I had to let God step in. And I had to be fearless, but I had to also trust. And I was praying at a really crucial point, and I saw a light come into me, and I heard Jesus say, your providence is coming. And I knew that that meant that he was going to be okay. He was going to live, and he is safe now. And that was like a miracle, that I felt so vulnerable and so open to learn about God and his power, because it's like I really needed it, so now I carry that within me. And I want you to realize that about your life. Like, how are you going to get these qualities unless you go forth into your life and you watch how life is shaping you? Because the truth about you is that you already are, like, your ideal life, that's who you really are. You don't just become that person, like you're shaped into that person, but that person's already inside of you. It's more like sand wash, it's like power washing away everything that you're not. And so life and God knows who you really are, and he's going to shape you through what you're going through. And I feel like energetically something has clicked into place. but we need to keep going, you know, we need to keep going and be strong. We need to keep moving forward in this direction. It's like we're already here, I feel, but we also can't stop, if that makes sense. It's like I feel like collectively, and I feel like if you're watching this, it's like we're here, we made it. If you've been watching me for a while, I mean, I feel like we've been pushing for this point. There's still more to go, I feel, but like I feel like something has clicked and it's here, but energetically. So it will show up, this, I guess I like Jesus' words, your providence. Yeah. Is, I'm trying to get the exact words he said. Yeah, your providence is coming. But it's also important that we don't stop and just like wait around. You know, so like go forth in your life, be who you really are. I encourage you to let go of the things that you're not. Be fearless about that too, yes. And energetically, it's important to let go of things too. That's why I do my work with Energy Queen Alchemy. That's why God taught me how to do energy work, clearing negative energy really quickly, because it's like, think about that ideal version of you and all the trauma that you don't have, all the fear that you don't have anymore. You want to live that life because you want to be in the state of clarity and freedom. You want to be connected to all the positive qualities of your soul, which is the truth of you. Nobody has to give that to you. It's there. I don't care how blocked you are, how scared you are, how sad you are, depressed or anxious or suicidal or anything. All that darkness, it can't take away your light. It may be in front of it like a shadow, but it can't take it away. And so what I do is I clear that away in layers instantly, and I reveal your light more to you. I reveal your light by clearing away what's in front of it energetically. And so that makes this whole process easier, I find, because you need your light to be strong to weather the storms. You need access to your spirit. And I feel like I'm like an access giver. It's like, yeah, you're there. Hey, you've been given everything you need, but there's something in the way. Let's get that out of the way so that you can have that clarity, have that strength. So if you're interested in a session with me, you can click the free consult link in my description of this video, and I would love to speak to you. I currently have 4 spots open, and I would love to talk to you about how I can help you through this process. That's so important. I know I'm meant to work with specific souls, so if you feel that pulling at you, definitely get in touch with me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this blesses you.